Can you imagine if I would have seen a dead body? I don't know it was a dead body, but like I would love to see a dead body. I would love to discover one. I don't know if I would actually, but I kind of think I do.
I kind of think I do too, but
I'd be like, oh, I didn't do it. I would think right away that because if you're the first one to call 911. And then you got to call
911, they're going to think it's you.
I'd be like, oh, hell, I'm out. I'm out. I was never here. And then I'm caught on camera and they're fleeing. Oh, it's the whole thing.
That would be you.
Oh, gosh. Oh, it's my
I don't want anything to do with it. I'm going to call. Not.
I just rubbed all over it a little bit. It's fine. It's fine.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
It is Thursday.
And we're thirsty.
It is Bloody Happy Hour. And we're going to be playing a drinking game at Happy Hour today.
We haven't done that in so long.
Yes. I hope we remember to play.
We probably won't. Let me make a note. I love a note and I love a list.
Drinking game. I'm about to make you close your laptop so you won't even see it. Okay, so quick little DC update.
Oh, DC. Oh, Dirty Chad.
Dirty Chad.
Oh, are we going by initials now? DC?
We are. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Here he's got a new alias.
Wow. Is it like he's going by his initials now and not his name?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
So he's recreated himself. And I ran into another ex of his, an ex that we warned about him a little after y'all's divorce. And, you know, he was still up to the same old tricks.
Did he steal her car?
Mm-hmm.
Did he go buy drugs?
And a whole lot.
Wow.
A whole lot.
Was he high around her family?
Real high.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Dirty Chad, way to just
we're so proud of you
all the time.
We're so proud of you.
Way to be you no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're consistent.
Yeah, and you're loyal to yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
for you to change your name.
you've really stepped up your game.
Y'all, new listeners, if you don't know Dirty Chad, go back and listen to the other episodes.
Just go listen to every single episode and get the tidbits that we share.
And then stay tuned for an upcoming series for Dirty Chad. We're going to give you all the deets at once. Then what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. I'm going to have to go
recap everything.
I'm going to have to go date somebody.
Oh, yeah.
So if y'all have any guy or girl, but probably guy.
I did. Not a girl till June.
Oh, yeah. Let's wait a couple months. June's Pride Month, so
I did read or hear or something somewhere. It was maybe like something was wrong that the percentage of you finding another Dirty Chad is very, very, very slim.
Oh,
so
I figured it would be very high.
You won't get two in a life.
Okay, well,
that doesn't mean 100%.
No, I feel like I do recognize red flags.
Mm-hmm. So you've grown.
So that's good. I've grown. Yep. I've really grown, and I've matured. I've blossomed.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, can we go to Florida today? But we got to go to Louisiana before we go to Florida.
I love it. I love a trip.
Both
I love
of
a vacation.
them? Okay. And
I guess I don't really want to go to Louisiana, but I'll go there with you.
Okay. I love Louisiana, actually.
I know.
So, have you ever seen, and bitch, if you have not seen this movie, I don't know what my reaction is going to be.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to probably not have seen it.
Have you seen the 90s slasher movie Scream?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay, thank you, Jesus. Do you remember
what's her name?
Drew?
No.
Drew Barrymore's in it?
Oh, gosh. Don't even get me started on Drew Barrymore after this week.
I know what you're talking about. Her name is Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney Prescott.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know
I'm
that
just going to look up her name.
there's a new one on there?
A new Scream?
A new Scream that just came out like last week.
I don't even want to know about that. You can't recreate Scream.
So it is not recreated.
Okay.
Not really. So they had one about a year ago come out, or 2 years ago, and I watched it. It was very good because it tied into all the old stories.
Oh, Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell, yeah. It tied into the first 3 Screams, or at least the first one, really. And they brought back Gail Weathers and Dewey and Sidney Prescott.
Wow.
So it was
Courtney
good.
Cox?
Yeah, she was Gail Weathers. Remember the report?
Yes.
So that one was good. So I haven't seen this one yet, but I'm excited to see it. So when I saw that, I got excited. And so I was like, you know what? Scream is actually inspired by a true story.
Yes. I am dead. I've just died. I just died because I know exactly the story. I was wanting to do it too, especially with the Kohberger stuff.
You already made the connection. I was like, if this bitch don't make the connections. I didn't know if it even came out. But
yes,
anyways.
Dennis Nielsen and was it Dennis Nielsen?
No, he's the...
No, what's this guy's name? Rolling.
Daniel
Rolling.
Rolling.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Yep.
All right. So I did not know
if you're not
about
awake,
him.
you're awake now. Because we just scared you awake.
I was writing this and I was like, she's not going to make the connections, and she's
Oh,
not going to see the movie, and it's going to take away the whole.
You think I'm living under a damn rock?
Every time
sometimes.
I ask, have you seen this? You're like, no, never heard of it. Have you heard?
I mean, this
No,
is
never heard of it.
Scream.
Or, yeah, but the other one. Well, you did see 8 Mile, but you're like, I don't remember anything in 8 Mile.
No, I don't. I mean, I remember it was like they rapped and stuff.
Okay, so bring back your memory for Scream listeners, and I hope it was one of your favorites, like it is.
Wait, do
mine.
we tell the drinking game?
The drinking game is going to start off. We're going to drink for every red flag that we hear in Danny's childhood. Okay.
This is perfect for me.
Then we're going to drink for every connection to another serial killer, like commonality.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So it's going to require you to critically think.
Oh, hell. Okay.
And I think you're probably going to make connections that I haven't yet, but let's talk about the Gainesville Ripper.
Woo! Oh.
Also known as the person who inspired Scream.
Yes.
And if you look, his name is Danny Rawlings. And if you look at a picture of him, he's got like a little droopy ghost face.
Yes.
Like the Scream mask.
Yes.
So he inspired that horrible mask. Okay. Danny Rawlings was Rolling. Born in 1954 in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy was a cop.
Of course.
And mama was just a regular mama, but he wasn't a great cop. He was one of those crooked and abusive cops.
Oh.
A lot of cops are.
God, there's so many bad cops.
So dad was very verbally and physically abusive. Drink.
Oh, red flag.
Danny was beat bad for the first time in his
Drink.
life at 1 year old.
This
You
is
think
what
that could have caused a head trauma? There's a lot of head trauma in serial killers too.
Absolutely.
Now, he was also reminded daily of what a mistake he was,
Oh gosh.
how he'll never amount to anything. And then another sibling was born, and he got beat even more after the other sibling was born. It's like dad was pissed that he had 2 kids, but I'm just going to beat this one. His mom, he watched his mom get beat on a daily basis. And every once in a while, him and his mom and his brother, they would flee and they would leave the house and leave dad. And they would go camping. They had a tent and they would go camp out like in different parks or the forests. And Danny, this was kind of like the best time in Danny's life because it wasn't stressful. And mom would kind of make it fun. Like one time they left at Christmas time and they brought the Christmas tree and the Christmas decorations and they had that out at their campsite. At 5 years old, Danny's dad decided to be nice one day and brought home a dog.
Oh, God.
Trigger. There's a lot of triggers in here.
I'm just drinking because I know what's about to happen.
But he would beat the shit out of this dog like he did everybody else in his family. And Danny tried to comfort the dog, and the dog died in his hands. He watched the life go out of his body.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it.
It's
because I don't like reading.
girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything. Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on roguemedianetwork.com.
Hola, yo soy Jackie.
Y yo soy Jessica.
Y esto es Zona del Crimen. Un podcast donde hablaremos sobre casos de crímenes reales
Y eventos impactantes que han quedado marcados a través del tiempo. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en Facebook, Instagram
o donde escuches tus podcasts favoritos.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those two also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
And, at an early age, Danny would leave the house a lot because he wanted to get out of the house, and he started peeping in windows. And he would peep in their living room windows and kitchen windows and dining room because he just wanted a normal family. He would look at families sitting at the table, eating dinner, watching TV, and he's just like, why can't I have this? I want this so bad. Why didn't I get this? At 11 years old, he was pretty smart, and he could sing pretty good, and he taught himself to play the guitar. And so music was his way to escape his shitty life. A lot of times he would sing, he would write songs. And then at 11 years old, also, his mother attempted suicide.
Oh, no.
And was committed to a mental hospital. Red flag, red flag.
This also reminds me of that story you did with that guy that was on that show. He was like a good-looking guy, and he murdered people, just shot dead.
Okay. On what show? Okay. You just said, and he murdered people.
Well, he murdered the.
Oh, Levi.
Yes,
Levi. Yeah, Levi King. Okay,
his
I got you.
childhood. This
it's
sounds
like this.
Yes,
Yeah.
So that's
good job. Connection. Drink.
Connection. Oh my gosh, I just didn't remember his name.
I didn't even think of that connection really. Okay. So mom was in and out of the mental hospital, so she wasn't even there to even. She couldn't really help him, save him from his dad, but she was never even there to even comfort him afterwards.
Mm-mm.
And if she was very distant at home because she was so depressed. Now, he started at 13. He was still peeping in windows, but it was no longer the kitchen. He didn't give a shit about that anymore.
Oh,
his bedroom windows.
Straight to the bedroom.
And the bathroom windows, and he was watching the young girls. And the first time he saw a naked girl, he creamed all over himself in his pants.
Oh, no.
And the girl's dad caught him, whooped his ass, and he went to juvenile. So juvenile at a young age around those kids, I feel like is a red flag.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys, I hope you're drinking out there too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
By 15 years of age, he attempted suicide. He was in his bathroom. He grabbed his mom's lipstick, wrote on the bathroom mirror, "I cannot take it anymore," and he slit his wrists.
Oh, gosh.
I think he slit his wrists. I think that's how Mom did it, too. But obviously he didn't die. So instead of killing himself, he started drinking himself to death daily just to get by.
Oh.
So that reminded me of Dahmer, because Dahmer started drinking heavily.
Yep.
Was
Connection.
very drunk at a young age. And then now when his dad was trying to beat him, he would fight back. So then he would get put in juvenile. It's like, why didn't the dad ever get arrested, but he's a cop?
Oh.
I feel like sometimes a cop as a dad is a red flag.
I do agree.
Now, and then he dropped out of high school. And what do all good serial killers do after high school, whether they graduate or
they go to the damn military.
They go to the military, and of course, that's where he goes. And he thrived.
Of course.
For like 4 minutes.
Oh, no.
4 minutes, but his drinking and his now drug use took over. He was evaluated by a doctor, diagnosed with borderline personality
BPD
disorder, and eventually was discharged after 1 year.
I can't.
Is that connection to Dirty Chad?
I think so. Take a drink.
He had to return home to Shreveport back with his shithole daddy.
Oh, my gosh.
But, he was like, I want to do better. I want to do better. I'm going to start going to church. And he went to some weird church that, by the name of this church, I would not have stepped foot in. I should have wrote the name down, but...
Was it Mary Cosby's church?
No. Who's Mary Cosby?
Salt Lake City Housewives. She's making a return now that Jen Shaw's in jail.
It was probably similar. But at this church, he met a young, petite brunette girl named O'Mather. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like that was somebody's last name.
I feel like that's a red flag.
O'Mather drink. Now, I said young, petite brunette because we will find out that will be his type.
Oh, no.
They fell in love, they got married, and they had a kid all in 1 year.
Red flag.
It is. Now, he was a shitty husband. He continued his dad's abuse. He drank every day. He could not keep a job. And wife finally left him after 3 years, which she was better than his mom because his mom did not leave the dad until he was way an adult. So he got a divorce, and it's 1977, and he's real pissed, and he felt rejected, and he hated her for this. Plus, he had to move back home with shitty dad again.
Oh, my gosh.
He was working at a bakery at this time, and he just felt like a failure. And this kind of reminded me of Zach and Addie, because remember, he was counting his failures in life. And so he stole his dad's gun, and he started robbing grocery stores for cash. In Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, he would randomly take a train or drive and rob these grocery stores. And he was also a drifter during this time.
Oh.
So he was like, do you remember the serial killer? We haven't talked about him. That was the drifter. They're a team. I think they screwed each other too.
The confession killers.
The confession killers. Henry Lee Lucas. And Otis Toole.
They confessed all these. Oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, yeah, by the way.
Bring me another strawberry milkshake and I will confess to your killings too.
What was it that you said I did? Oh, yeah, I did that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did it all.
Way to go, Waco. Wasn't it Waco police?
It was police from all over the world. I don't know. He was in Waco for a little bit of time, but I don't know it was during all the confessions. Yeah. I don't know. We need to do him at some point. He's so confusing, though.
This is very confusing.
Now, he did a total of 8 years for all this robbery. He got caught.
Oh, he got caught?
Yeah,
okay.
He did 8 years. And so by the time he got out, he's 35 years old, and he was like, damn, I am worthless. I ain't done shit with my life. I just drink it away.
Yeah. He probably wants to go back to jail.
Yeah. So he actually starts doing stuff.
Okay.
to go back to jail. He got a job at a local Ponchos, and he was making some money and kind of felt a little good about himself. But he got fired. And when he got fired, that was like the last straw. He's like raged on his manager, but left. When he left, he was walking around a strip mall, and he sees a 20-year-old petite brown brunette named Julie Grissom. She was working at Dillard's. He followed her back to her house and stalked in the windows like he used to when he was young.
Voyeur.
And saw that she had a great family. And so this made him pissed because he was like, I deserve that, and I did not get that. So she don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. I'ma destroy it. And he did. He breaks into the back door. He ties her up, puts tape over her mouth, ties her up, cuts off her clothes, rapes her, and kills her. He turns her over and stabs her in the back. It's how he kills.
Oh, no.
Turns them on their belly. He kills her dad, Tom Grissom, and he kills her 8-year-old nephew, Sean. I know. They were all stabbed to death. Now, when her body was found, she was posed in a sexually explicit position, like basically like spread eagle. And her hair was fanned out across the bed, like out above like her head. And she had bite marks all over her body. Connection to who? Bite marks. Ted Bundy.
Oh, he had bite marks?
Remember, that's how they, or was it David Wade Smith? Yeah, Ted Bundy. That's how they connected him with the teeth.
Oh, the
bad science. Dental impressions.
Yeah. Dentologist.
Yep.
I'm like on your chair.
I know. I don't know how this happened. Oh, here we go. Okay. He leaves that crime scene and he's feeling like a great person. Like he feels powerful.
I feel like that escalated quickly.
Yeah. I mean, because you got fired from a nacho, from a Ponchos. That's the worst.
Go kill the nacho guy.
Yeah.
And your dad.
Like, don't take it out of this family. Thank you. Because when you just hear the childhood, it's like, oh, he's going to kill men? Like, that's who you should be pissed at, right?
Yes.
But he, as you will see, focuses his anger on women. Okay.
It's so confusing.
So when he leaves there, he goes to his dad's house and picks a fight with his dad, grabs that gun, and shoots his dad in the face and in the stomach. And he leaves town. Dad does not die. This is May of 1990. Dad does not die, but he lost an eye and an ear, which that's what he gets.
That's what you deserve.
That's what he gets. You created a serial killer.
Half blind and half deaf.
Yes.
Good.
Now,
good riddance.
His robberies, one of his most recent robberies, he obtained some information from one of the guys that he robbed. And so he decides to start a new identity, Dirty Chad.
Wow.
And he's also using an initial. His new name is Michael J. Kennedy.
Wow, Michael J. Kennedy?
Mm-hmm. Michael J. Kennedy Jr.
Okay, that's interesting. That's quite a name.
So it's very strong. Like, it seems like an important name.
Yeah.
So he picked a good name.
Yeah.
He leaves Shreveport and he is going to Florida. It is July of 1990.
Wow, Florida man.
He is now Michael J. and he's going to be in Florida and he's going to start a new life. The bus stops in Sarasota.
Mm-hmm.
And he stops at an Army Navy surplus store and buys a knife. Do you know what kind of knife he buys?
Oh, what kind? Is it a military grade style knife?
K-bar.
Is it a K-bar knife?
Who used a K-bar knife recently?
BryanKohberger. By the way,
I must be so late because I was so enlightened by this case and the connections to BryanKohberger.
Duh.
I don't know how I missed it.
I don't either. I made that connection.
But I didn't know
because
this case.
I was looking into other cases that were similar to it because I wanted to talk about it to see like how they did how they got started or what their reasoning was, just to see if it made any sense with that guy.
Nope.
But I did look up flight prices for the preliminary hearing. It's like $900. So
damn, because
I'm
everybody's
starting
going.
at only femurs, or maybe only
femurs?
only arms, only legs, like only fans, but just showing body parts.
Got it. Maybe elbows.
Yeah,
people have elbow fetishes.
Well, because people have feet fetish, so they do like only. I don't need to show my feet.
Oh, I would show my feet if people would pay me for it. But
okay, I think we'll start that. So anyway,
continue. He's going to Florida with a plan, Caroline. He knew he was going to kill, and he knew the type of person he was going to kill, and all he had to do was find him, and he did, because he went to a Gainsville Walmart. He was buying his supplies for his campsite because he's a drifter. Mm-hmm. He buys a tent, and he buys like stuff to cook on and blankets and a little blow-up bed. And when he's there, and he's also buying supplies to kill and murder
kits.
He buys a screwdriver, he buys gloves, and he buys duct tape. While he's at Walmart, he sees 18-year-old Sonia Larson and 17-year-old Christina Powell.
Oh, sounds like names of people who get murdered.
Oh, it's their freshman year at the University of Florida. That's the Gators, where they do the arm clap like this, like the gator mouth. Okay. They were buying stuff for their brand new apartment. They were brand new roommates.
They were just starting.
It was August 24th.
Like they were just
school
moved. They
started.
Had just moved in.
Yeah. Yep. That day probably. The school probably started the next day. Now, he follows them back to their brand new apartment they're so excited about. It's August 24th. He camps out there basically and watches them throughout the night. When he's ready, he gets dressed in all black.
Oh, kind of like the Scream costume.
He got his screwdriver, his K-bar knife. He's got on a mask. He's got on black gloves, black hoodie, black pants. And I was like, isn't this what what they think BK wore?
Yeah, he was in all black.
All black.
And he had a mask on.
He uses his screwdriver to pop open the sliding door in the house. Sliding doors were the consistent on every one of these murders. If you have a sliding door.
They had a sliding door in Moscow at the Idaho house.
Listen, I cannot wait for
the trial preliminary
to
hearing.
Get exact information on how the bodies were and like what he did, because I feel like he was emulating this guy more than any other guy.
And they are not. Everybody's focused on BTK.
No. Nope. Okay, let's go. So he walks into the apartment. Christina Powell is sleeping on the couch. He bypasses Christina Powell, goes upstairs to Sonia Larson. He grabs her, tapes her mouth, binds her hands with his tape behind her back. He rips off the clothes with his K-bar knife. He rapes her. He chops off her nipples.
Yeah.
Her breasts were mutilated. And then he stabs her repeatedly. Then he goes right back downstairs to Christina and does the same thing to her. Same nipples, same breast, everything's the same. And he washes them both. Well, he goes back up there and he rapes Christina again. And this is like unknown, like if she's dead yet or not dead. Like they never said he was a necrophile. They said paraphilia. So I don't know if she was dead when he raped her the second time or if she was slowly dying. He washes their bodies off with detergents and poses their body, spread eagle, wide open. He ate an apple.
That's what the psychic said about BryanKohberger.
Remember? No. Oh my goodness.
That's probably where she got it.
But you know who did too is Richard Ramirez. And I believe Gold. And I know the Railroad Killer ate. I feel like the Golden State Killer did too.
Well, he like went through their refrigerators and stuff, and it was just like chilling.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
Joseph D'Angelo or whatever his name is.
D'Angelo, yeah. Poses them, eats an apple, and then leaves.
Why are you gonna just eat an apple? Did he leave it there? That's wild.
This is also what did I say? This is 90. Wait, yeah, this is 90.
So they had
some type of little bit of DNA. Now I heard one podcast that there was jizz in paper towels around the house, like in the kitchen.
I don't understand how there is no sexual stuff that happened with Kohberger.
Or have they really said that, or are they saving it?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that there was no, according to the bodies, that there was no, like they didn't think there was any signs of sexual assault. Yes. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't sexually motivated, meaning he could have like jacked off like after he did it to them, or like it didn't say like they could have found semen at the scene that they don't have to. I don't know. They didn't talk about that yet.
Yeah. Or BTK. Well, no, I think BTK jacked off. Somebody just would cream all over themselves in their pants just by the act of doing it.
Yes.
So that's probably BK.
Yes.
He's probably a 1 minute man anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They had a third roommate named Elsa. She wasn't there.
She wasn't.
No.
She was recording Frozen.
She was recording Frozen. Elsa was not there. She was her and the landlord discovered the bodies the next day. So, isn't that a connection?
And they were posed.
They were posed. Yeah, they were posed, spread eagle out, just like.
And they showed
roommate finding
roommate,
dead roommate.
Connect.
Now, it wasn't even a day later. It's August 25th. He breaks into another college student's house.
He was on a major high.
Yes. 18-year-old Krista Hoyt.
Oh, no.
She was a part-time clerk at a local sheriff's office. She had just graduated community college and got accepted into the University of Florida. He breaks in her house through the sliding door with his screwdriver and waits for her to come home.
I cannot. Like, waits in the closet for hours. Who did that? Who else did that? Shit. I can't remember who else did that.
BTK?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. He did.
He bum rushes her, gives her with a chokehold, does same thing with her, covers her mouth, binds her wrists,
cuts her nipples,
rapes her, turns her over, stabs her. He cuts her shirt off. He does all the thing. He cleans her, but he doesn't take her nipples.
Oh.
Now, get ready for this one because this crime scene is a little bit different.
Oh.
He's done. He rapes her. He's getting ready to go. He goes back to his campsite. Okay. And then realizes that he doesn't have his wallet. And he thinks he left his wallet at the apartment. So he goes back. Who else did?
Kohberger.
Ugh. I was like...
Kohberger left the knife sheath, and he realized he left the knife sheath, so he had to go back, and he had his phone back on, and he had this rush of energy.
Yes.
He didn't know what to do, so he wanted to go back to get the knife sheath, and then it was too late because there's somebody else who was there, and then he drove away.
Well, nobody was there. He goes back, he goes in, and he looks at this crime scene, and he was like, I could do better.
And he continues.
He cuts off her head.
I thought so.
He, what's it called? Guts her, like Scream, like a fish. Cuts her from sternum to groin, which is quote unquote how Stewie Schumacher, whatever is her last his name. Matthew Lillard was the killer on Scream.
Oh,
the goofy guy. Quote. Literally, when Drew Barrymore was Casey Becker on the movie, was found dead, she was cut open and her innards were outards. All her stuff was hanging out. Remember, she was hanging in a tree. So he did that to her after the fact. and then propped her up like she's sitting on the edge of her bed. She was spread open too. Her nipples were laying beside her. He goes and gets a shelf from another room and puts the shelf up in front of her and places her head on the shelf facing her own body, like her head is staring at her dead body.
I mean, the level of depravity at this point is how the police officers,
they don't have no idea.
They done throwed up. But that is interesting. I do wonder if what the scene was like with Kohberger.
I know.
I don't see how he didn't have them posed or something, because that's like your work of art to them.
Yeah. Well,
oh my gosh,
it is your work of art. I know he cannot wait for that to get out. Like when people find out what he really did.
Yes.
So, he doesn't stop there. He grabs mirrors in the house.
What else is there to do?
Grabs all the mirrors in the house, and he breaks them, and he places them, stands them up. Oh, he's had bad luck of his whole life. Did he break a mirror at birth? Stands them up around her body so that when she is discovered, it's like the house of mirrors where you just got like a ton of images of her dead body. It like intensified the vision of the crime scene.
This is so wild. Like what? This is why we are so intrigued with true crime.
I know.
Because you can't believe it.
Yeah. But it happened.
I should have been a police officer just so I could actually see these things, even though I probably don't want to, but I kind of do want to.
Yeah. I don't know.
So freaking strange.
I don't know
weird.
what I want. I don't know what I want.
I do. I'm like, I just want to see one, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But that's so weird.
But can you imagine, like, the time he took to put her, like, she was standing up when not standing up, but still sitting up. Her body was on the edge of her bed when police found her.
How do you make it do that?
I don't know. I think he probably did something to the spine, so she's kind of slumped over, and then maybe that balances you. Then you don't have a head, so that doesn't offset you. Your head is what makes you. So I didn't say this, but I think it was Krista. Looked like she was sitting up and she had fell back. Oh. So that's why he cut off the head, because the head
made.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he perfected from the last crime scene to this crime scene.
So you're walking into this crime scene and you have a sitting up torso. And then
with
the
open,
head
spread out legs.
At the other side staring. I can't. Gruesome.
Mm. Also, her breasts were cut off and wrapped up like in paper towels or something, saran wrap, like it was a to-go food, like he was going to take it with him, but they think he probably just forgot about it.
Oh my God. And this was all just because he needed to go back to get his wallet. Did he even get his wallet? He probably still left it there.
He didn't even leave his wallet, I don't think.
Oh, he just
thought he did. He thought he did. He couldn't find it, and he was like, what if I left it there? So it's the first place you're going to go check.
So excited. He's like, I got to do some more.
I need to do better. Yeah. Now, he later says that Krista Hoyt looked the most like his ex-wife, so that's why she got this extra attention.
Oh.
Yeah.
Blech.
Now, the police can't even finish that other crime scene before because they get a call about this one. She worked for the sheriff's office, remember? And she is always on time. She never misses work.
Oh, shit. She didn't show up to work.
So they're like, something's up. So they go and check on her, and this is what it is.
Oh, no.
Police know that these murders are related, obviously. The victims look the same. Body parts were removed from the crime scene. It was the same staging. And so they were like, co-eds are being targeted again. They're panicking from Guess who else did something similar in Florida?
Well, Ted Bundy.
Yeah, Ted Bundy. PTSD from Ted Bundy. This was, like Moscow was, a very safe town. Like Gainesville was like number 2 on the list to go live there because it was safe.
Oh, hell.
It was a safe college town, but overnight people were scared and they were panicking.
Oh,
Students left.
Yes, they should have.
They got their money back. They went home. Parents were like, nope, you're not going home. You're actually going to be homeschooled after this. Dorms were opening up their lobbies and letting people who lived off campus come and stay there. They brought like extra bedding and extra mattresses.
Gosh.
There was 24-hour security at all the women's sorority houses because they were like, if somebody's trying to be a copycat like Ted Bundy, he's probably going to go to a sorority house.
You know what? I want a female serial killer. Oh, I guess we had Eileen Wuornos, but we need another one.
Oh, okay. If
But
you're
it's
on the
not gonna be
verge out there, just go ahead and do it.
Go ahead and do it, and just you know.
When you confess, you can also say Caroline motivated you to do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
That'll be great.
Put Bloody
Tell
Happy Hour on the map.
Tell them to listen to Bloody Happy Hour podcast.
I learned from Bloody Happy Hour podcast, and then I will come and testify at your trial.
Now, okay, so 24 hours at secure at the sorority houses. There's a task force formed immediately. FBI, profilers, the behavior analysis unit. It's Spencer Reed, it's Derek Morgan, it's Hotchner. Only my Criminal Minds people know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But no, it's basically all the people from Criminal Minds. There was a manhunt, and this was the most expensive manhunt to date.
Gosh.
Tips were coming in, but they were like, we've never handled anything like this. They just didn't know what to do. So, August 27th, this was 2 days after Krista was just killed, a bank was robbed at gunpoint.
Okay.
I know. It just turned into a bank robber story too.
Okay.
And one of the witnesses gave a description of the robber. And the description goes out like on the police scanner, and one of the cops is passing by a guy who fits this description talking to another guy. They get out, they pursue this guy, and this guy takes off running into the woods, and they lose him. He was like real fast.
Okay.
So they go, but they look for him. They didn't find him, but they found a campsite with a bag full of money with the ink all over it.
Oh.
You know how they put those little traps in there? It's supposed to explode.
Yeah. Raised in Arizona. That's where I learned that show.
Oh.
That movie.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Look, I was getting mad at you for not knowing movies.
Yeah. Raised in Arizona. They were all blue from the exploded money.
Yeah, it's blue, and it's supposed to be a good way to catch him. Well, it exploded in the bag and not on him. He left the bag. So they go back out, and they talk to the guy that this guy they were chasing was talking to first. And they said, who is this guy? What's his name? Michael J. Kennedy. Do we recognize that great, strong name? A.K.A. Danny Rollins. Take a break. All right, so 2 days later, this is such a quick timeline. 2 days later, the apartment of Tracy Paulus and Manny Taboda. They are roommates, a girl and a boy. Rollins saw Tracy and was loving Tracy. And so nothing was going to stop him from getting to her.
Oh, I remember this.
He sneaks into their sliding door, and he goes into Manny's room first. Manny is a 6'2", 200-pound football player. Remember on Scream? My boyfriend's coming over, and he's big, and he plays football, and he'll beat your ass. Do you remember that? It was Casey Becker's boyfriend. I think his name was Steven, that was killed first. Or he might have been decapitated. I can't remember. He was slashed maybe. At the beginning is the very first scene of the movie. So that's what that reminded me of.
Oh, yeah.
He was a football player. He walks in and he stabs Manny in the back. like twice or 3 times because he stabs everybody 3 times. Well, Manny is big and he's a football player, and so he's fighting. And he tackles and they go back and forth and they fight for a while. It takes 32 stabs to finally kill Manny. Like, that's how hard and long he fought. It took 32 stabs to actually get him to be done.
Was he expecting him there or no?
Because he later says, I just got rid of him to
get to her.
Yeah. Now, roommate is down the road, like down the hallway, Tracy, and she hears all this commotion. So she's going to go look to see. And when she's going down the hallway, Ghostface is coming out of the hallway. Rawlings is coming out of the hallway, and he sees her. So she runs back in. She closes the door, and she barricades herself with like a bookshelf or something in front of the door. It doesn't stop him because he gets in and breaks down the door. And he later says, she looks at him and says, "You're the one, aren't you?" And he says, yes. And he attacked her. He did her the same way he did everybody else. Stabbed her 3 times, raped, everything. Posed her body. He drug her by her feet to the hallway and posed her in the hallway because he knew that when people were going to come in, he wanted the body to be the first thing that they see.
This is giving Kohberger vibes.
Well, okay. How many people
3,
died?
4.
4 with one guy.
Yes,
right?
3 girls and a guy.
3 girls and a guy.
Xana was the one with Ethan there. I think they were just like wrong place, wrong time.
Or was he trying to create all of these victims that Danny Rollins had?
I don't know.
And did he leave one alive so that she could be the one to discover, like Danny Rollins did?
Maybe. April, we have got to go to that pretrial hearing just for one day. It's for a week. Which day are we going? We have to go.
The pretrial. What information are they going to give at the pretrial?
I don't know. But if Brian Enton and Nancy Grace and Chanley Painter are all there, we just have to be there.
I need to hear all the details.
I know.
I would almost put like $7 on. I would put $7 on the fact that so much of the crime scene there probably mimics this crime scene.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Emily D. Baker might be there. I mean, oh my gosh.
Now they say that. Oh, yep, definitely the police. We got a serial killer.
Oh, clearly.
So tips are coming in. And one name keeps coming up over and over and over.
Oh, is it Michael J. Kennedy?
No.
Oh.
It is 19-year-old University of Florida freshman Edward Lewis Humphrey.
Oh, no. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
What?
He was a good student. He was an Eagle Scout. He was dealing with some mental illness. He was diagnosed like his last year in high school with manic depressant. He had just been prescribed lithium. And after I know. What? He had scars. He's a cute kid, but he had these horrible scars on his face that now he's kind of scary. That probably had a lot to do with his mental depression. And that was from a bad accident. He lived in the apartments across from Tracy and Manny, but was kicked out of the complex for being weird. He would threaten people a lot. He spent a lot of time in the woods. He wore camouflage, and he talked about murder a lot.
Well, he's too weird. Of course, I would suggest he was the murderer too.
He was too weird, and he
don't be
wasn't
weird.
Easy on the eyes,
and don't be ugly and weird.
So, of course,
you're the murderer.
Think he's a serial killer
for sure. I would have thought too. I would have been for sure.
Police began surveillance on him.
Okay, good.
And it's only August 30th. It started on August 24th. It's August 30th. And there was a 911 call, and it was from the grandmother of Edward Humphrey's home. he had assaulted his grandma.
That's rude.
Beat her up. She hit her head. He had a black eye. So police arrested him. They're like, oh, we don't even got to really do surveillance anymore. We got him in jail.
Yeah.
And when they arrested him, the killing stopped.
Wow.
His bond was $1 million for assault.
Okay. That's a little.
But they were trying to keep him in jail because they thought he was the Gainesville Ripper.
For sure.
They were so sure. His photo was all over the news, Caroline. People were talking.
What?
He was the Gainesville Ripper. He was sentenced to 22 months for like the assault and other things. And so he was in jail and they were building their case, but it just wasn't being put together very well. Do you remember an innocent person going to jail and Scream?
The
Cotton Weary. Cotton Weary.
What did he look like?
He was the curly-haired guy, and Gail Weathers wrote a book about him.
Yeah.
So that's what inspired the Cotton Weary character in Scream. Now, the Gainesville Ripper says he is going to be exonerated. He did not do this. Who else says I'm going to be exonerated?
Oh, Kohberger. Yep. They all say it.
So he's in jail. They think he's the Gainesville Ripper.
Oh, I see.
Do you remember Cotton Weary?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to go home and watch the movie now.
I actually do.
Watch all of them so we can watch the new
all
one.
of them?
At least the first one, and then the newest one that came out last year, and then now this one last week. Okay.
That's 3 movies?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
So now it's September 7th, 1990, so it's only like 10 days after some of the murders. And Danny Rawlings, the real Gainesville Ripper, is arrested in Ocala, Florida for robbery. He's just a thief.
He is a thief.
And something about him makes the police think that he might have something to do with the murders. They surely know that he has something to do with the bank robbery, but they don't know that it's connected yet. Yeah. So they keep him in jail, and they go and raid his campsite, and they find these tapes. So they're listening to these tapes. And on a lot of the tapes, he's singing these country songs that he had written. Because remember, that's how he escaped in childhood, is by singing. And he also recorded audio diaries that alluded to clues about the murders. You think? I wonder what's on Brian Koberger's computer.
Oh.
He's got some audio diaries.
Who even knows?
What is crazy is that 4 years will pass.
Does this do this?
Almost.
Okay.
4 years will pass, and before they can even bring him to trial, because it took that long, like, to really have opportunity to do DNA, because it's 1990 and they don't have a lot of that yet. And he's a floater, like he was a drifter, so there wasn't a lot of evidence that really tied him back to the crime scene.
Yeah.
So he sat in jail for 4 years, but you know who else did too?
Oh, the Humphrey
Cotton
or
Weary.
whatever his name is.
Well, I forgot his name.
I didn't forget
Humphreys.
his name.
It's so sad, and he was forgotten about.
He just sat
the police even forgot about him. Yeah, they were trying to build a case against both of them. Well, when they ruled Eric, what the hell's his name? I gotta
think it was
put some respect on his name. I'm gonna say Eric Humphreys. Who is that?
I don't know, but I feel like it is Humphreys.
Edward Humphreys, yes.
Oh, good.
They took DNA for Edward. Of course, it did not match. So he gets exonerated, or he wasn't really tried for it, but his gets released. He's 23 years old. He went in at 19 years old. Like, his life is...
Gosh.
He had to leave the area because everybody thought for 4 years he was a serial killer. And then they did not even have a trial for the Gainesville Ripper because Danny was like, yeah, I did it. And he confessed in detail. And that's why I had all the details about the crime, because he told us. He pulled a Dahmer.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Now,
And he knew only certain details that only the police would know and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, he confessed. It's everything. So they don't have a trial, but they do have a sentencing, right? Okay. And he is sentenced to
5 deaths.
Death on April 20th, 1994. And he was diagnosed with antisocial
crazy psycho syndrome.
Antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and paraphilia.
What's paraphilia?
That is like weird sex shit.
Oh.
Weird
That's
sexual.
illegal?
No, he was diagnosed with that.
Oh.
With paraphilia. So like his cutting the boobs off, biting on the bodies. They think that he never said that he'd screwed them after they were dead, but they think that he probably could have screwed them after they were dead. So it's just those weird sex fetishes type things. Now, when he confessed, he did say that his motive was he wanted to be just like Ted Bundy. That was the plan from the beginning. So he went to Florida, just like Ted Bundy did. But he didn't go to Tallahassee, Florida State. He was like, I'm just going to go to Gainesville to Florida University of Florida. And he did it just because he likes to kill people. Nothing about his dad, nothing about his wife, nothing about his mom. Except for that's the reason that one of the girls got the most is that because she looked the most like the wife. So people say it's the wife that triggered it, but it was a bunch of other shit.
Gosh.
Now, remember the murders in Shreveport, the Grissom family?
Yes.
The
8-year-old
and the 8-year-old and the daddy?
Yeah.
Shreveport is like, wait a minute. We know this guy. He used to live here. And he lived here at the time of these murders. Why didn't we ever think of him? So they're connecting the dots. So they approach him with it.
He's like,
Rollins. And he does the Ted Bundy OJ tactic.
Oh.
If I had done it, I would have done this. And he's writing it, though.
At least he didn't do the Shaggy defense. That's good.
And he wrote details about the crimes that only the killer would know.
Why do you admit to some and then you're like, I didn't do the others?
I know. So
like if you're bragging about those ones, then wouldn't you brag about the other ones that you got away with?
I thought the same thing. And then I wondered, did he feel, because he had a kid, so did he have some guilt about the
or maybe that's, once he started killing all the women, he was like, oh, this is who I want. This is what I want to be
remembered for. Yeah. They never had a trial for the Grissom murders. The Grissom family and Shreveport was like, well, he's already being sentenced to death, so they never extradited him. He's already going to be dead anyways. So he's in prison, and he openly expresses his hatred to women all the time. Somebody's playing Madonna, and he talks about how much he hates Madonna, and he wanted to cut her head off and place it on a bookshelf. Poor Madonna. That's when Madonna was good Madonna.
This
not good Madonna, but she was cool.
Look like a
now she needs
like
her head
the Saw
off.
like the Saw caricature.
Yeah,
that's what she looked like now. But she don't deserve to get her head chopped off.
No. Now, he would also often quote scripture from the Bible, and he attended church in jail.
Oh, wow. They always become... Well, apparently Kohberger, he's been going to church in jail, too. Yeah. Yep.
He said that they were all evil, and that's why they died.
Oh,
that
okay.
He just didn't kill innocent people, that they were
good
evil.
For you. Good job.
But this is about to get a little crazier. You know, he's in jail... And he's national news. He's the Gainesville Ripper. And some girl named Sandra London. She's a freelance journalist. She's nobody. She says that Danny reached out to her because she wrote about serial killers a lot.
Oh,
and
interesting.
He gave her exclusive rights to her story. So she starts visiting him. Which that's not true. She's trying to be Ann Rule, and she's not Ann Rule. She's a wannabe. But she starts visiting him often and often, and they fell in love.
Wow! How does that happen?
They got engaged.
Wow, that's great.
So
did he buy her a ring or what?
Yes.
Out of jail? A jailhouse ring?
Yes.
What am I doing wrong? I guess I need to start writing some murders in jail. I'm not getting engaged.
So they got engaged, and the ring
was red of blood. Oh, it wasn't?
It was.
It was bloody red?
It was a diamond in the middle surrounded by 4 rubies.
Where did he get this ring?
I don't know.
Somebody's
sending him money.
Brought it in through their butt or something.
Well, he didn't get a ring. He didn't get a ring. He got her a ring made somehow. He probably just called a jeweler and said, "This is how I want it to look." Bitch probably had to pay for her own shit. But when she did interviews, because she was like all about being in the news and trying to become famous.
Oh, for sure.
And she says this ring has deep meaning, and she showed it, and it's the diamond and the 4 rubies. What do you think that could?
Probably the 4
girls,
college kids that he murdered.
The 4
that
girls
he posed.
With the 1 male in the middle. So either he's the diamond surrounded by his 4 girls, or Manny is the diamond surrounded by the 4 girls, because that's his only male victim. Either way, it's freaking sick. And so he's even more like Ted Bundy, because remember Ted Bundy had, I think her name was Carol Durant or something.
Yes.
He got married and had a kid.
And she was like all about, yes. And then she finally realized, good Lord.
And that's the thing is like, she was brainwashed. She believed he was innocent. So at least she was in love with the innocent man. This bitch knows what he did. Like, he admitted to it, and that's
these
worse.
people who go after these killers, surely they're like, I'm just doing this to get recognized.
Well, I do think that's a lot of it's the motivation behind her. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to make money. This was the 2nd serial killer that she had dated. She dated a guy named Gerald John Schaefer.
Her first serial killer wasn't big enough, so she had to go for another one.
Well, he cut her off. They dated for they dated a little bit in high school. He became a serial killer. She found out he became a serial killer. So then she started writing him when he was on death row.
Oh, good job.
And visiting him. Okay. And then they agreed to write a book together about his murders. And I think that it ends up happening. Or ends up, part of it gets published or it gets leaked or something, but the book doesn't do anything. She's trying to get rich off of it, but there's this law called the Son of Sam law. David Berkowitz, where basically these people can't, Danny can't get paid off of that. It goes to the victim's family. So if there is a book written, it'll go. So then it makes me think about Anne Rule. I know she made money off her books.
Yeah,
How does it separate?
I think that it's based on your sentencing. So it has to do with him being sentenced, and he can't go and provide information to journalists, and then they go write a book and make money off of it, and he won't get money off of it. But that has to do with restitution? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Because, if Murdaugh he's guilty, he's in jail, and then it's based on his sentence, he won't be able to make money from his story. So he can talk about it, but he can't go and write it. I think it's...
But it'll go to the victim's family.
I think that... Which case
you know why Anne Rule did it? Because it's her...
Yeah, it's her
experience of the story, and then the facts that were already out there.
Yeah, so she is going and doing research, but it's not anything that's going to Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
If Ted Bundy's I
want some money.
This is my story, I'm telling you exclusively. It was her story, and she was just going to him for info, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so this made her pissed, and they do end up writing a book, but it wasn't very good. And
clearly, because I've never even heard of this lady.
So I do have one thing to play for you, and I saved it for the end because
so good.
I wanted to introduce this bitch first. So when he was sentenced to death, the judge always gives them opportunity to address the court.
rules say I have to give Mr. Rawling an opportunity to have a say. You have anything you want to say, Mr. Rawling?
Well, sir. If it please the court, could I address the court?
Sure. Say whatever you want to say.
Thank you. I recall the day I first saw you. I reached out to say I love you, but it was hard to say. I couldn't touch you. So tell me, baby, what were my words? All my tears run together.
Excuse me, Mr. Rawling.
Down the path you choose to follow.
Mr. Rawling.
So tell me, baby, what were my words? All my tears run together. What were my words? All my tears run together, baby, just like rain.
No, sir.
No, sir. Sir. Mr. Rawling, sir.
And he just kept on. Y'all, you can find this video on YouTube. He gets up with a smirk on his face. He turns to
his
Chandra.
tranny. It looks, she think she was a male. She was born a male.
Her name was Sean, probably.
And I think she transitioned before it was mainstream to do so.
She was the first.
And she is she definitely has a penis.
He was making eye contact with her, serenading her,
and she's just smiling,
clenching
like
her
penis got so hard. I saw it. I heard it. I even heard it get hard.
It was disgusting.
So bad.
It was disgusting. Do we hate her yet?
She's real bad. She's so bad. Oh my gosh.
She's Sherry Papini bad.
She's so thirsty.
So
she just needed to pay for her like surgeries, I think.
Yeah. Or keep her medicine going or something. So on October 25th, 2006, he died by the lethal injection.
Ooh.
And I have to wrap it up in a little bow. Last meal was a lobster tail with butter sauce, butterfly shrimp with cocktail sauce, strawberry cheesecake, and sweet tea.
Listen, he deserves like cat or something. Like,
hamburger helper.
Don't give this guy anything like that.
Hamburger helper without the hamburger. The lowest of the low.
The lowest.
With potted meat.
I want you to go down the street and I want you to get that cat that they cooked up, and that's what you deserve.
And
or raw,
pour
like
toilet
raw
water
meat.
in his cup.
Yes.
That'd be great.
And urine.
His last words, he sang again.
Oh gosh.
A gospel hymn.
Oh, of course. Oh my
and
gosh.
before he died, he left in his cell a written confession to the Grissom murders. So they got to attach that to his name officially. And you gotta love Gainesville. What I don't know if Tallahassee's done this for the Delta Chi girls that were stabbed. Was that what it was? Somebody was Delta Chi Delta. Chi Omega. Chi Omega. They still have, and this is what, 30 something years later, more? I don't know math. Plaques, scholarships in their names, murals that get repainted like yearly, crosses. They planted palm trees in honor of them with white ribbon wrapped around them with their names on there. And University of Florida campus actually maintains all this still. They have like a club on the campus that their job is responsible for it. So I kind of hope Idaho does something like
they're
this.
talking about doing that because they're going to demolish, when they demolish a house, which I don't think they should demolish it before the trial, because you just never know. You just need to wait.
Yeah, I know.
And they haven't said when they're going to demolish it or whatever. There are plans to demolish it. But I was listening to Nancy Grace, and they were just telling me that they don't need to demolish it. And Joe Scott Morgan said the same thing.
Well, and just like the Murdaugh, they went and did a tour.
Yes, and just like at Florida, Nicholas Cruz, they went and visited the school.
Uh-huh.
And you never know. Just let it apparently, I mean, they boarded it up.
Wait till I drive by it at least once, too. I need to go. When we go to the pretrial hearing,
April,
of course, we
have got to go.
I wish I went in
I'm going to
Idaho.
start selling plasma and take pictures of my leg or foot or like just a limb and be like, only limbs. And I might just go back and start doing some Uber drives tonight.
Let's do it.
I'll deliver food and I'm going to put all that money. And we are going to go for we got to go for 2 days.
2 days. I wish Idaho was a little bit cooler, but that'll make it all worth it.
I know. We have to make a pact. Pinky promise.
Pinky swear.
Because I cannot be going by myself.
No, you can't.
I can't. I literally can't. I'm going to have so much drugs and Adderall to focus on this, to be sitting in a court all day. But I want to do it.
That is the end of the Gainesville Ripper.
Love it. That was so great.
Can we talk about, we had Bryan Kohberger. Did we drink? And then Ted Bundy drink. That was a connection. Was there anybody else that really just stood out? Richard Ramirez, because he ate the apple.
Levi, because of his childhood.
Levi King, daddy, very abusive daddy, killing animals. So many of our stories.
So many. Dahmer.
But mostly it's Kohberger to me. Like
Yeah.
he wanted to be like Bundy. So of course it's close to Bundy. But I think Bryan Kohberger wants to be like
Danny Rawlings.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many similarities.
Yeah. Yep.
Gosh.
Okay. That is
Great
y'all.
story. I'm dead thinking about it because it was crazy and wild and wow.
Go
I hate
watch
that guy. I'm
Scream.
so glad he's dead, and I hope that Bryan Kohberger gets firing squad, death by firing squad.
Or is he going to get off like Cotton Weary because he's, or like Edward Humphreys?
Well, you know what's funny? There's so much drama going on with this case. Like, there's so much, like the attorneys are all arguing and the judge and this, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. But you know what? We're going to see it firsthand when we go to the pretrial hearing.
We won't be there.
I don't know the difference between pretrial hearing or preliminary hearing.
How do you not? You watch trials all the time.
I know, but I don't know. I got to look up. I got to figure out the difference because I keep calling them either one. Like I'm like pretrial, preliminary. Pretrial
So that would be a good one to go to.
This
because they sum up
preliminary
everything.
hearing, I think they talk about basically what was in the probable cause. There could be a witness, there could not be. But it's like a whole week.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
We'll
Somebody
tell you.
us, lawyers.
We'll
listeners.
tell you when we go.
That is it. If you loved this episode, send it to some of your friends and go give us a review. And that is it. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Beat the train. Beat the train.
No, sir.
No, sir. Sir.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.